What's going on, everybody? And today is another day in the bulking program that I'm doing, and with the aim of basically adding on quality muscle mass. I mean, I'm aiming for 20 pounds of additional mass over the last program that I've made, and I've outlined all the specifics of this program on the website. The website's being changed. There is perfecthumanx.com. This is the new website. Has all the programs and all the templates in there, and all the bulking program details for everybody that's interested in following and in understanding all the assets, all the aspects. I'm sorry, of the nutrition, the 5 layers of bodybuilding: nutrition, training, recovery, supplementation, and anabolics. And what about, like, drinks, carbohydrate and electrolyte drinks like that? Would that be considered in the supplementation layer, or would that be just considered in the nutrition layer? What you'll find is a lot of things in the supplementation and the nutrition layer, they cross, right? So you find that you'll find many things in both layers, and you wonder, okay, is it supplementation? Protein shake, whey protein is obviously in the supplementation layer. BCAA is obviously in the supplementation, what we call in bodybuilding as supplements. But 44 grams of protein, eating some chicken, and some slices of whole wheat bread. Gotta get the right amount of carbohydrates and the right amount of protein. And I find that rice, especially bar-boiled rice or pre-boiled rice, whatever you want to call it, is one of the best, fastest to cook types of rice that one can actually get. So it's really a good brand of rice. So the problem with rice is 2 problems with rice. Number 1, if you leave it too long, if you cook the rice and just leave it in the pot, it starts to taste like ass. It really has this horrible fridge taste to it. So, like, rice has to be fresh. That's the thing with rice. I used to cook rice and just keep it there, and it would taste so nasty, man. But rice, when it's fresh, let's say you're gonna take 4 cups of rice, you just cook them and you eat the 2 meals, one now and 1 in 2 hours. And if you want to eat more rice, you cook it again, fresh. Don't just cook, like, I don't know, 10 cups of rice and just leave them in the pot, because that makes the taste so nasty, and you end up throwing it away. And not eating it. And after all, so why not just cook as much as you want to eat, and the next 2 meals or whatever, maybe 3 meals, and that's it. And if you need more, you cook some more. That's how I'm doing it right now. So But it's not just about bodybuilding. This is about, as I've explained more on my channel, the perfect human in every aspect, man. Yeah, athletic performance, bodybuilding, body, the looks, it's a part of it, but cognitive function, cognitive performance, that's also a part. So you can't be a dummy. You have to watch your metrics, not only the size of your biceps and the size of your chest and all this stuff, the metrics that we take in bodybuilding, body fat percentage, cardiovascular health, VO2 max and all this stuff, blood and oxygen saturation. You also got to watch your brain, your cognitive metrics. How many words do you read every day? How much information do you absorb every day? How much information are you able to output every day and input every day? How much information are you able to memorize? Training the brain, just like training the body. I mean, I just did a high volume, low weight or low intensity workout, and it was a lot of volume, man. Tons of volume, tons of pushing blood into the muscle. And the same way, you have to measure your brain. How many words did you read today? For me, I was at some point, where, man, I was at reading I was averaging probably 90 to 100,000 words a day. 90,000 words a day. 90 to 100,000 words a day. That's a lot. Most people don't even read 6,000 words a day. There was a time for me where I was averaging over 90 to 100,000. This is a part where I was completely focused on cognitive performance. So I lost so much of my weight, I lost so much of my muscles, and I sacrificed that, and I did an experiment to be able to see how intelligent I can get. I applied all the same principles of bodybuilding to the brain, and I started to see, okay, well, how intelligent can I actually get? Started studying tons of mathematics, tons of physics, artificial intelligence, stuff like that, and got really deep into the mathematics. And it was quite an experience, because it was something that I personally thought that I could never do, or it's not for me or whatever. But I ended up doing it and taking a bunch of certifications and finishing a lot of concepts, memorizing tons of concepts in AI, deep learning, machine learning, and it was so difficult. It required so much discipline. It required so much focus, but I ended up doing it after a while of focusing on and I had a protocol for that. So just like I explained in the videos with the 5 layers of bodybuilding, and I structure and I explain everything, there is the 5 layers of cognitive function as well. So there was a stack at that point that I was taking for maximizing cognitive function, and I don't think, honestly, I got to very high levels of intellectual output and input. I don't think that I would have been able to achieve such high levels of intellectual output, intake and output, if it wasn't for the stack of things that I was taking at the time. It's basically like a mental stack, a bunch of nootropics and a bunch of things that were helping me put in that much focus into it. Because to be able to focus and have your brain working consistently for 16, 17 hours a day. Man, that's a full-time job. It's not an easy task to have your brain functioning at that high of a level, going through AI algorithms and mathematics and stuff like that, computer science stuff, computer science subjects for that long. So I did that, and I achieved a whole bunch of certifications and a whole bunch of specializations in AI, computer science, and all these different things. I was proud of that. I was able to constrict my attention and constrict my impulses, control my impulses to an extent where I was able to accomplish all these things and study things, honestly, that are considered by most people to be very difficult or require a very high degree of concentration and intellectual capability. You know, so that was great. And this just shows that all this judgment, man, like, don't ever judge yourself before you start something. Always be open-minded to the possibility of what you can accomplish and what you can do with the resources that you have in life. Really, the options are unlimited. Unlimited, man. You can be the best programmer if you want. You can be the best mathematician if you want. It's the same concepts with bodybuilding. You can be the best physicist if you want. If you focus your effort on that and you start developing the intellectual capability and organizing your mind and everything in your life around that, you can be. I did it with a lot of studying a lot of mathematics. And I never thought that I would ever be able to get myself to sit down to do stuff like that. It's crazy. So man, anyways, so calories right now, my calories are at around 3,500 calories. I started this training program at maybe, I don't know, I really scaled down my weight all the way down to, I would say, 175 or something. Now I'm at like almost around, maybe I would say 180, 183. Sometimes I push up to 185, 187. Depends on the water and the sodium and stuff like that. Was eating sometime for some time. Was eating a lot of noodles. Here's the thing about these noodles. The Top Ramen and other brands and stuff like that. The thing is this. People think if you leave out the pack, you're not getting any sodium. But that's not true. Even if you leave out the pack, the seasoning pack, you're still getting a lot of sodium. The thing itself has a lot of sodium. So that needs some more research to figure out how much sodium is exactly in these things. In these noodles. Because, man, they can take a toll, you know. And they have also, fats as well. They have, bad types of fats. So they can mess up your cholesterol ratio and all these different things. When you get your blood works and you're like, well, I'm not eating bad fat, but you're eating those and you think it's just carbs. But it is bad fats for cholesterol. So with that being said, I just had this like half a chicken. I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna go find some other stuff to eat because This is really it's not enough, man. I had like almost half a chicken now and have maybe 2 slices of whole wheat bread. Trying to find some more food, you know. What's up, everybody? So I'm adding a bunch of calories, more than the chicken and the bread that I ate. So basically, we're gonna get a little bit of ramen. So it's not the best thing, and I talked about the sodium. It's not just in the seasoning pack, but it's also in the ramen itself. It's definitely not the best option, but you know, gotta get those calories. So, got some additional ramen right here. So basically, the seasoning pack, right? You wonder when they put, so because I tried researching this a lot, right? How much of the sodium in the ramen is the seasoning pack versus how much of the sodium in the ramen is the ramen itself, right? That's a very big question for people that consume this shit, you know. So, you know, it has 70 grams of carbohydrates, sodium 1,390 milligrams. Damn. Tons of sodium. So now you're wondering what percentage of the sodium is the seasoning pack versus what percentage of the sodium is the actual ramen itself. So now you're a little bit confused. So of course I'm not going to eat the seasoning pack. The seasoning pack is out. This is probably, you know, most of what the sodium here, you know, is. But the thing is this. The ramen itself, it still has sodium. And maybe one day we can make a video about that, which is how much sodium does the ramen by itself has. But anyways, when you have to get the calories to achieve a specific goal, I have to get the calories to achieve a specific goal, man. And you know, in this period, I've decided that one of my goals is I want to add that specific amount of muscle mass, 20 pounds. You know, so I want to push to get that goal. So yeah, unfortunately today might take a little bit hit in the sodium, get bloated a little bit, but you know what? If that's what I gotta do, then that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. One thing is, you know, I can just, you know, pour this water a little bit. And put a little bit of that sweet and chili sauce. And this is one thing I talked about in a previous video, and I might talk about again, which is the intersection between cognitive function and bodybuilding, right? Definitely, bodybuilding is not something that enhances or increases cognitive function. So yeah, there has to be a balance. There has to be a matrix where you basically try to maximize both of them. That's going to be very difficult if you're a full-blown open class bodybuilder. And I talked about it for you know, from so many different perspectives. All the layers of bodybuilding, how just being a bodybuilder is not conducive to great cognitive function. But in these videos, I'm gonna try to show how you can somehow do both, and I'm gonna try to figure out ways to be able to do both. Be ripped, big, swole, whatever you want to be, and at the same time have great cognitive function. And I'm talking about being a great mathematician, great physicist, real cognitive function. Great entrepreneur, things that would require you to maintain, 50, 60,000 words a day, reading, memorizing so many concepts in your brain with different memory techniques. I'm talking about high level mental output, mental cognitive function, the type of stuff that they do in their memory Olympics and mental mathematics and stuff like that, but actually using it functionally in real life. Because these competitions, they may not be functional for everyday life. Just like anything, when you get so specific, just like bodybuilding. In bodybuilding, many things in bodybuilding training, nutrition, all the 5 layers of bodybuilding, you can use them for other things of life. In longevity, you can use some of them in maintaining bone density, muscle mass, all these different things. But bodybuilding at itself, maybe a lot of aspects of it are not exactly functional in real everyday life. As in, you don't need all that muscle mass just to walk around. But the benefit comes from that specializations, and people that specialize, they can teach you about this stuff. So when I specialized so much in the brain and the cognitive function, I've learned how to have extreme mental output, and how to read a lot. Now, the challenge that I'm going through is how to mix that with bodybuilding and having a great physique, which is not easy. Can I eat 1 meal a day and still be a bodybuilder, looking great, and still have the cognitive function that I maintained in the period where I achieved all these things cognitively, studying all this mathematics and computer science? Yeah. So just right now, I had like 1,000 calories. So I'm wondering if you can do your 3,600 calories a day. If you can just do them in 1 meal, or like a 3-hour window, just get your 3,600 calories in. Boom, boom. It's over. You don't have to eat for the rest of the day. What kind of physique can you maintain with that type of eating pattern? Gotta put these like old methods to the test, man, and just invent new methods to try and have everything. Some people talk about, okay, how to do bodybuilding while, not having any hair loss, and that's something that's very important. But how to do bodybuilding while being very smart and becoming even more smart, more intelligent, and increasing your capability to read more words every day, and memorize more concepts across so many different fields. How can you do all these things, different things together, and combine them? This is the real challenge for me. How to combine the brain with the body, because usually people that have the brain don't have the body. People that have the body don't have the brain, just based on specialization, right? Is what it is. I mean, the geek that's going to be sitting programming computers all day is probably not going to be working out much, and he's definitely probably not going to be eating much. And there's a specific video where I talk about that and how bodybuilding interferes or intersects with cognitive function. Eating all the carbs, eating frequently, all the stuff, getting the carb comas all day is not really the best thing for cognitive function and for the brain, right? So that being said, I'm continuing on this journey, and we'll definitely be posting these updates every day. Posting some shorts on YouTube, TikTok, and also updating a lot of stuff on Twitter, x.com. And until the next update, in which I'm going to talk about the specifics of this exact fitness program or this exact bulking cycle that I'm doing, and in details of the nutrition, the supplementation, the recovery methods across all the 5 layers of bodybuilding. If you don't know what the 5 layers of bodybuilding is, go to my video about the 5 layers of bodybuilding, in which I explain these concepts clearly, so you can follow up with these videos. And until the next video, have a great one.